係啊。
讀書定咩啊？
都係讀書嘅。
我讀書，咁都會翻嚟嘅。得閒就翻下。
又係啊。
過年翻下嚟。
收嘅。嗰個收嘅。係。Thank you。That would do. Anyway, hello everyone. As you can see, my background is a little bit different today than my regular videos because I'm back in Hong Kong. So, yeah. And this is a bit weird video today because I don't think I ever really thought to do this before. I want to introduce you to a bit of a, what did I say, childhood memory food that I'm sure a lot of Hong Kongers have ate in their childhood life or teenage life. So, in Hong Kong, obviously, we got 7-Elevens here, and we got Circle K. And something like Japan as well, they also serve a lot of snacks, but in Hong Kong, we also do somewhat similar the same, but with, I guess, more variety, because Japan has bentos, obviously. Hong Kong kind of has it as well, but you need to microwave them. So hence, I guess why a lot of the variety food, like a lot more food and snacks are served there. But yeah, not all of the 7-Elevens have these. You need to see whether or not is this a shop say 7 Cafe. If there is, then that means there is like these food here that you can get. Anyway, without further ado, the main part of the video. Let's dig in actually. So unfortunately, I got one hand only, so I already pre-opened them just in case, so I can make the review a little bit more better. There we go. Oh, look at that! Absolutely magnificent. And here's the other one. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. So good. So I guess let me introduce you to this first. I'd say this is probably I would eat this a lot of the time. For those who don't know, in general these are called dim sum, but and specifically these are called Siu Mai. S-U-I-M-A-I. At least that's how pronunciation, I guess. So usually you can put them with some spice sauce or some soy sauce as well. I usually prefer them with soy sauce. Guys, just genuinely taste a lot better. And I suppose there we go. Oh, look at that. The focus of the iPhone. And the orange just fell. Ignore that. But yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah. And like everywhere in Hong Kong, you can absolutely find some of these smaller shops where they sell a lot of fish balls. Usually pair them with spicy ones, and obviously Siu Mai and some bunch of other dim sum that would be served there. It's not buns or anything. It's like what I said before, fish balls, and Siu Mai. But I can guarantee you, from 7-Eleven to like local stores and all that, just all of them have such different qualities of Siu Mai. It's so much varied as well. I can't explain it to you or how they taste like, or how it does it differentiate the quality in terms of quality, because, well, for one, I'm not really a good food reviewer. I'm just here to share the very good childhood food of mine. And all I can tell you, you have to come to Hong Kong and try it for yourself. It's genuinely amazing. I can't express how much I always love these. I have eaten these, I can't remember, since I was like really young. I've been eating this before a lot of the time, I guess, before I left for the UK back in 2023. It's I feel like these are something that Hong Kongers don't talk about that much, because it's very, I guess, mundane part of the thing. My most recent memory of like me eating 7-Eleven, like these two, Siu Mai and Indomi, I will talk about that later on. It's really during my middle school time, where occasionally my parents would bring food over to my my school for lunch. It was really during like, it was like 6th grade, it's like the latter half free, where I had to buy lunch on just off your own. Either basically occasionally when my parents wasn't able to bring me food, I would usually walk over to a somewhat close 7-Eleven that also serves these little snacks. But I think I did these more than like 5 times or 10 times, in fact. I mean, either way, these are gold on its own. With the mixing with the soy sauce, it just makes the Siu Mai a lot more better. Look at the texture of this. Just look at it. It's honestly amazing. Okay, I'm gonna try the Indomi so that I don't drag this on too long. Okay. So, this, I would say a lot of Hong Kongers would love this, absolutely. Again, it's one of these things where, at least I think it's a completely different case, because honestly, even with Siu Mai as well, it tastes completely different compared to if you buy these in 7-Eleven, compared to if you cook on its own, like by yourself, or compared to you cook this. No, what's the word for this? Yeah, make this by yourself back in your own kitchen. I can say, because Indomie usually comes in it's like a fry. I don't know what's the English word for it, because all I know from every time, at least in Hong Kong language anyway, in Cantonese, is always Indomie. That's what we literally call them, unless worldwide also count the call these, but but yeah, usually comes in like a big package, which as far as I remember, in 7-Elevens, they usually prepare the noodles already, and put them in these containers. Once they're needed, they can pull them out and then start mixing them, as you've seen before in the video. Just look at this. Although I guess compared to how brown the brown texture usually Indomies are, if you make it your own, this isn't as much. But all I can say really is, you have to try this by yourself. You have to try this yourself in order to understand the taste of it. And obviously, all I can tell you is that it will probably taste better if you eat it right after you get these, because I bought this back at home so that I don't disturb anybody at the shop. I don't want weird eyes. But yeah, these are genuinely really amazing. It's genuinely very bouncy. I don't know, is it dry? I don't know, is that the right word? As you can see, again, I am not a good food reviewer. But it's a very satisfying taste that would at least personally, I think it tastes better than if you would make your own Indomie by yourself. All I can say is that. Like, their technique was what? They dip the noodle into the bowl for just a couple of seconds in fact, I think. And then they pull it out, put them in the bowl with the other sauce and all, mix them together, and there you go. That is that simple. At least from even when I was young up until now, I truly wholeheartedly believe that's the only method so that you can get like this sort of taste. And in fact, there are other like mix and match of like such as udon. Yeah, I don't know. They just I'll give you a pop up my little menu over here. But yeah, there's a lot more other varied, a lot of different varied snacks, and also you can get this a lot more cheaper. Hold on, I'll quickly demonstrate you. So this wouldn't really make much of a difference, but you can order both items. For example, in my case, Indomie and Siu Mai like together. Also applies to other snacks. In fact, other food. In fact, you can put them. They could serve you like this, and I think it was a little bit more cheaper because it sells you as a meal. But obviously, the taste doesn't really differentiate that much. The only really truly different taste is the fact that the soy sauce, once at least when you ask the staff there to put the soy sauce up on top of the siu mai, some of the soy sauce would have landed in the Indomie, and maybe it tastes a little bit different, but I can't recall. Not at least not that I think it would have made much of a difference in terms of taste, but yeah. Usually, at least in my case, if someone's like very hungry, but you know you don't want to eat restaurant, and you just want to eat food, everybody would always usually go to 7-Eleven for these very go-to food. And really, I don't see anyone really talk about these that much. At least sharing childhood memories, I guess. But yeah, it's such a long staple in Hong Kong, in my opinion, because there's really nothing better than good siu mai with soy sauce and Indomie, genuinely. And again, you can argue that you can make it by yourself, but I can tell you that, again, you have to come and see and taste for yourself on how different the taste is compared to if you make it by yourself. That's all I can say. It's really night and day, I can guarantee you. I mean, truly. Well, I think at least I got 3 of them anyway. For the sake of translation purposes, the top one basically means mix and match. So you got, at least in my case anyway, I can get some siu mai at the same time, Indomie mixed in together in one bowl, and then below these two are completely separate ones. This one should be siu mai for 10 of them, and the bottom one is the Indomie. And totaling up, if I don't know, obviously because if you're hungry, you can get 2 Indomies plus like 10 siu mai on top of your bowl. And overall, that at least in my case anyway, this costs 62 Hong Kong dollars. So I don't know how much. I mean, in UK pounds, that's £6 2 pence, somewhere around that price. But yeah, it's extremely cheap over. Well, can compare to McDonald's even, but obviously I think McDonald's has a more fulfilling. I don't know. Does McDonald's have a more fulfilling meal if you just order them? Actually, let me finish this when I shoot my first. But yeah, honestly, it's so dirt cheap. So maybe this could be, I wouldn't say it's an equivalent to a meal deal. I think with a somewhat similar price in the UK anyway, if you get a meal deal, you can get these. Every time I have this, I always wanted more. At least when I'm hungry, I always wanted more. It genuinely tastes so good, somewhat addicting even. I just for my case anyway, doing my time as a kid. I can't stress this enough. Honestly, like I feel like everywhere else in the UK, in fact the whole world, if they're a convenience store, I feel like they should do like some of the same thing where, you know, they got some local snacks or local cuisine, I guess. I mean, I was at this point, I would consider this being a cuisine. It's absolutely, it's just, at least, obviously, I don't think this is the best way to experience proper Hong Kong culture, but I would say if you try this, you could technically experience some part of the culture of at least the usual working life of a Hong Kong citizen. Because honestly, if I'm hungry, I would definitely, like, you know, during work, if I'm hungry, I just want to go for something cheap, I don't want to go for like McDonald's and all that jizz, then I'd say this would do like absolutely the job. I mean, Japan doesn't even have this. Most of the time, at least in some of the ones I've seen anyway, they usually have chicken, fried chicken and corn dogs. I mean, in itself, it's also good as well, but I don't think it's as special as this. And that's it. Clean bowl. Is how good it is, honestly. But yeah, I have one more back in the kitchen, but that's preserved for my little brother. So, but yeah, that's really it. Honestly, I can't express this enough. I don't know, is this the best way for me to express my genuine love as a, you know, genuine love for these two these two kind of food, because again, I don't, at least in my experience, I don't see, that much people talk about these. And it's a bit sad because the last time I've been back in Hong Kong was 2 years ago, and that's why I had over 2 years time, I didn't have a chance to experience this. At least, you know, that's, you know, this experience of buying cheap food at a convenience store, and the food is actually good. So, well, not to complain, but like, you know, I know UK, you know, doesn't have the bit of a infamous being nothing that really much interesting going on, even for food. But honestly, like, I think an equivalent, I think Greg's would be it. In terms of, like, you know, cheap food, warm food, like these. But I don't think it would ever beat, you know, from where I'm from anyway. So, yeah. I'm gonna end this video in case it gets a bit too long. So yeah, please consider coming to Hong Kong and try these out for yourselves. I can't express this enough that you're missing out on, like, experience how, you know, Hong Kongers usually live in, at least in the way or what they eat usually, other than like regular dairy dim sum and But also, you know, obviously 7-Elevens are everywhere. You can just search up 7-Eleven 7 cafes, and I think if I'm wrong, then I'll put a caption down here. But if, you know, if you're obviously, again, if you're interested, then come to Hong Kong, find some 7-Elevens that has these. Again, I'll put down on how you can find what shop has what, or has these, like, shops that 7-Eleven that has these, like, dim sum that sells. But yeah. I'm gonna miss Hong Kong so much that I can't eat this. No matter where I get these, it won't ever taste the same. 7-Eleven Siu Mais and Indomis have such unique taste compared to maybe you make it on your own. So compared to if you make it on your own. So anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, come to Hong Kong, try these out for yourself, support some of the local stores and round streets of Hong Kong. And I'll see you all in the next video or stream. Good host Ludwig signing off. Peace out and goodbye.